It's Christmas today, but it also marks the fourth month of my grandma's passing. Walking home with her in elementary school, watching her cook my favorite dishes, seeing her contagious smile while she hung out with other grandmas at Manor Park, grabbing food and drinking wine with her and going to Clancy's ice cream parlor are some of my favorite memories of her. While I hold these memories close to my heart, I wish I knew more about her. I was tasked to translate and read the eulogy written by my aunt and uncle and realized that there were 60 years worth of stories that I missed out on. I deeply regret not asking her to share when I had the chance. I really hope to honor my grandma and capture her stories and many others by creating this podcast. Stories are powerful. I've been told I always figure it out and can overcome anything. I truly believe that until grandma passed away. September and October were very dark months and there was no light at the end of the tunnel. I felt incredibly lost. Thankfully, through the darkness and loneliness, it was my students and their stories that helped me find hope and joy. I am currently the 12th grade seminar teacher / counselor. I help seniors finalize their plans for after high school and help them navigate the college application process. Community college, CSUs, UCs, and private schools. I must have heard and read over hundreds of stories through one-on-one conversations, life maps, or personal statements. In many of these stories, I found a connection or memory of my grandma or myself. I remember stories about students wanting to make their family proud and to take care of them, or their grandma passing away but teaching them endless life lessons and skills. I too wanted to make my grandmother proud, took care of her, and learned so much from her. Another story I read was about how in Asian culture, there seems to be a sixth love language, food. And that right there sums up my relationship with my grandma. Of course, many talk and write about their challenges, aspirations, identity, dreams, and passions. And when I hear and read all of that, it fills me with a lot of joy and brings me hope. The future is in good hands. The story that I personally related to the most is when my student described their inner fears, thoughts, voices as a friend. And for me, it was my demon. I can go on and on and on with my students' stories because I just can't forget after reading and editing it for the 10th time. Here I am rearranging my tiny living room / dining room and setting up for the podcast. I'm so excited to interview and ask my family to share their stories and memories of grandma. I want to hear and learn as much as I can about her. I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing or me, probably me, but I rarely communicate with my parents, let alone share stories. So I imagine learning and building a stronger relationship with my parents through this podcast. After learning more about my grandma and family, I hope to use this platform to share as many stories and meaningful conversations as possible. It's a real vibe to just sit down, lounge, and chat for hours. I love listening, engaging in discussions, and asking questions. It's fascinating, and I get to learn so much. I'd like to think I have a pretty good memory, but as I get older and start losing my memory, I'll have this to look back to. I encourage everyone watching to not only share more, but also to listen carefully. Cheers to the many conversations and stories I'll hear and tell.